Right, folks, we've done the scores on the doors. This is the last one of the night, and it's for you racing folk yet again. It's later than I wanted it to be, but it's not as late as some we've had of late. I want to get a bit of weekend. I say a bit of weekend. I'll get about 2.5 hours with her indoors and then a couple of hours on my own. So I'm down the dancers in a few minutes to watch the TV. You might not know that term. It's a term that my mum and dad used to say when it was time for bed or when we'd been naughty. Up the dancers, that was the stairs. Where they got it from, I don't know, but I still say it from time to time. Right, Zorro. I said I'd be doing a video later about Zorro. We may have hit an impasse again. We might not be getting anything more through from Zorro. I mean, that's up to himself. I'm good with it either way. But let me just share a bit with you folks. Again, I mean, I've been great with the guy, or so I believe. I've not disclosed who he is or what he is or anything else. He's asked me not to. I've not done. I've read you a few emails in the past. He asked me to stop doing it. I did. I'm going to read some today that's come over the last couple of days because we've had probably a bit of falling out. We're not falling out. He said a few things that I think was totally wrong and he was well out of order with and I didn't appreciate. And I give him a one-word response like only I seem to be able to. The thing is with me, folks, I don't take any crap from anybody. You might have realised that by now, you might not. The Britain's grumpiest dog. It's true! I'm grumpy and I get grumpy. Don't worry about that. There's lots in this world at the moment make me grumpy and I can give it to folk. I don't mean that, I mean just the grumpiness. But now and again I get mad. And the thing is with me, folks, I will not be pushed around by anything or anybody. As a kid, from about 11 to 13, 11 to 14, I did get pushed around. And I've always regretted it that I didn't do something about it earlier. Bullied, if you like. There's a video on here about it somewhere. It happens to many folk, don't worry about that. But since that date, I've never been pushed around by anybody. I just don't take it. Don't get me wrong. If they're pushing me around and they're in the right and they've got, they're having a dig at me and deserve it, I can take that all day long. But I will not be pushed around by anybody. It's cost me a few jobs. People try to take advantage of me, talk down to me, or take the PISS. I walk. And for all it can cost me a little bit in the pocket, it costs them ultimately. Because wherever I've worked, I've been an earner for both myself and themselves. Sounds big-headed, I'm sorry, but it's true. And I just don't take no crap off nobody. I don't believe anybody should. My other half takes crap off some people and just does everything people want of her because she's just a wonderful person and she doesn't want to upset anybody. And I keep saying to her, they're taking the mick out of you, don't let them. And I've taught my kids the same, and to a great extent my kids are very much like me. I don't mean they're not grumpy, they're not awful, they're not any of those things, but they won't take crap off anybody. And that's how I want them to be. None of us should take crap off anybody. At the end of the day, if we don't give it out, why should we take it? We should all get on. Anyway, Zoro sent me an email yesterday, I think it was, and I often, folks, will get emails and I don't read them until hours and hours and hours later. And I think it was yesterday I read it. It was a particularly busy day yesterday. As I say, the wife was out last night. I finished recording last night at 8:15. Was getting a takeaway. I sat down with my takeaway at 10 to 9. There's been nights this week I've been finishing at 12, half 12. I think latest been 1:10. I've recorded probably 4 messages this week after midnight. And when I'm putting them kind of hours in, as I know Zoro does himself, when I'm putting them kind of hours in and someone has a pop at me, and when they're totally out of order and they've got the wrong end of the stick, I just won't take it. And when they say something a little bit arsey, I don't get upset, I don't get worried. I'll let people push as much as I want them to, and then I'll just turn and I'll give it them back, and that's what I did in one line. More about that in a moment. Let me read these couple of emails and I'll tell you where I'm coming from, folks. But before I do, let me just tell you something about Zorro. He's been on there for a while now. He gives bundles and bundles of horses. You all know that. Many of you knock him. He's very thin-skinned. He won't like me saying that, but he is. He gets very upset. He's messaged me sometimes. He doesn't like him. He doesn't like her. He doesn't like this. He doesn't like that. What he doesn't get is people are allowed an opinion. And if it differs from his, it differs from his. If they don't agree with him, they don't have to. He thinks he's brilliant at what he does. He thinks he's a cut above most others. I think he's probably right. I've already told you that, folks. Many don't. Many say he can't be a proper tipster doing that many horses. People tell me some tipsters only bet 2 horses a week or 3 a week. I'll say that everybody, and I mean everybody, is different. I've seen things, and I'm not clever, but I've seen things where he's betting, and I think I can see how he would win. I did a video a week or so ago, 10 days ago, where I told you he left us once. I thought that was going to be it. After 3 or 4 days, some more tips came in. And I said when he left us, just send me tips for 4 weeks. I wasn't trying to do anybody, folks. Send me tips. Show me your staking plan, how you would stake, because he tells us that he stakes everything, that he does singles, he does doubles, he does trebles, he does this, he does that, he does forecast. I say, well, I'm not going to be able to put as much as you on, because he tells me he puts hundreds and even thousands on. He could be lying. I don't know. I don't think he is, but he could be. He does everything on the Betfair exchange. I don't use it. I know I should. I know everybody should. I know that's where the value is. I know that. But I just don't use it. He tells me about horses that are drifting and horses that are coming in on there. I can never check that out because I don't go on there. I'm not familiar even with the site. I do the sports book. I don't do the exchange. He tells me lots and lots and lots of things. Many of them I believe. As I said to you folks, often when he gives you loads and loads and loads of horses, I can tell by how many plays and more importantly how many win and what the prices are. I've got a good idea without trying to work everything out whether he's in front or not. But what I say to folk is when I give them the bets, just don't bet everything. Bet a few that you like within them. Hopefully you'll find a few that crash in price. He might pick some that you was looking at yourself, go down on them and do some each way yanks and lucky 15s and whatever else and see how you go. I said, because I believe if you do that, sometimes you'll get 2 or 3 within the ones he's given you that actually frame. And I think he is brilliant at finding horses that are overpriced, that get massively, massively bet in. Mickey does it most days, Mickey D. Connor does it from time to time. Flat Cap Callum does it all the time. Some of them do. But I think some of the crashes on the horses that Zorro picks are enormous. And I think with Zorro he's picking often horses of a much bigger price than Mickey picks, or horsepower hints. Maybe not much bigger than Flat Cap. He does the same kind of stuff. But I think Zorro has even more crashes. But then again, he throws even more darts even than Flat Cap. Flat Cap bets loads of horses. But Zorro even more. It's weird. Flat Cap, I think in yesterday's broadcast, it might have been today's, it might have been yesterday's, he said something that really, really, really struck me as to how close him and Zorro are to what they do and how they do things. And I think they may have the same kind of, I hope I'm not offending anyone because I don't mean to, I'm based on something that I think I've seen in Zorro and something that Flat Cap said more than once in the past. I think they may have certain kind of conditions the same, and I'm not knocking, I don't mean it in a bad way whatsoever. I mean, it makes them extremely clever, very quick, and brilliant brains and brilliant memories. I think they've both got some of the same there. I really do. Before I go into the emails, let me just tell you this now. I've done videos on folks I follow in the past. Many of them are these vloggers from Tenerife and whatever else. And I say before I do these videos, I'm going to say it again now, is the problem with many people when you do a video about them and you say any negative things, you could absolutely love that person and think that they are great, the channel is great, what they say and what they do is great. But if you say 2 or 3 negative things, even if it's put in with 10 or 12 positives, they don't listen to the positives. They think about the negative. They focus on the negative. They don't even see the positive. I think people with certain conditions, and I might be wrong here, and I'm not trying to blow smoke up anyone's backside or trying to get a free pass, but I think some people with these certain conditions are cleverer than most. And I think they're clever enough to see both sides of an argument, and they'll take the negatives the right way because they'll weigh them against the positives and see that overall it's a positive. But even if Zorro isn't that way, let me just say this first. Over the last 4 or 5 days, I said I've been doing bets of these. I've only done small yanks or lucky 15s each wayers. I've not got the odds that he's given in the morning, the night before, because many of them have crashed. But the odds I've got are still often better than they've actually SP'd at. And what I've definitely not done is some days his prices have gone out because of ground and everything else, because he's based it on soft ground and they've got good to firm or whatever it may be, and vice versa. I don't go on the exchanges, so these have been bet with Sky Bet or 365, usually Sky Bet. I've done 1, 2, 3, 5 yanks or lucky 15s here, and I've only done to small stakes. It was just an exercise for me to see if I was betting his horses on a regular basis and taking a sample from them, whether they would win or not. That for me tells me what kind of tipster he is and how good he is. I'm not doing it with anybody else, not anybody but him. Day 1, 13 on, 25.49 back. Profit of just over 12 quid. Day 2, 16.50 on, £3 something or other back, a loss of £12. £12 odd. Day 3, 11 quid on, 20.49 back, 9.50 up. Day 4, £11 on, 17.19 back, 8.80 up. Day 5, £13 on, 21.78 up, 7.70, 7.80 up. These 5 days, how many bets there? 5 bets, one down, 4 wins. And each of the 4 wins is more than given me half mistake back. Some of them have given me, has one given me double mistake? Yes, it has, virtually. I've not got his best prices there. I've not got the prices he's given. That tells me you can make money betting his tips. I don't care what anybody else says. People say he's giving too many. You can't bet that way. Some are saying he's always on about ground and this, that and the other. He mentioned something in a minute about all the time he's spending doing emails. I think he means sending the horses to us. What he'll do with emails, Zoro, this is how anal he is, and I don't mean that in a bad way. He'll give me all the horses, and often they can be 20, 25, and he'll give me the prices. An hour later, he'll send me all the horses again because he's seeing even better prices, and he'll put the new prices on. Sometimes I've had the 3 lots. So he's typed out 30 horses 3 times and give me the very best price, the third one being the best price. He doesn't need to do that, and he needs to do it once. They might not be the very best price there, but often I won't give them out till late on at night, which is why I try to give them before 9 the next morning, or I try to put them up for 9 the next morning. But he might send them to me. The last time might come at 6, 7 o'clock. I might not see that till 9:30, 10 o'clock, and I won't just then go and do the message, because I might have been recording till 8 or 9 o'clock and watching a bit of TV with her indoors downstairs. It's the only time I'm getting to see her. So I'll wait for her to go to bed and then I'll do it. And sometimes I've forgotten to do it, or sometimes I've not looked at his emails because I've been mad busy. Often getting back to folk with comments, because there might be a day, 5, 6, 7 hours with comments. I might have 70, 80 comments to read and get back to. And until the channel gets that big that I can't do it, I try to do that because I believe that's what I should do. I believe that's part of the relationship that we have together. You message me and put a comment and I message you back. I think it's only right. You know, if you take the time to message me, I try to take the time to message you back, whenever it might be. Lately, because of this new job I'm doing, I'm out more than ever before, and it might be 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night. I'm watching the TV. I don't know what's happening in it, because I can't do 2 things at once like some can. I might spend an hour and a half getting back on all the messages. I'm constantly saying to the other half, what happened there? What happened there? What happened in this? I'm doing reading. But I still get all my messages out. And then I'm coming, recording at 11:30, 12, half 12, 1 o'clock, 1:15, and let you know what his picks are. And I'm doing it because I want you to have them. Because if he's spending time to send them us, I think I should spend time giving them to you. He asks in one of his emails, why should you bother sending them? And I said something like, well, with an attitude like that, why should you bother? I know why he's doing it. I think he knows, and maybe he doesn't know. And if he doesn't know, I'm not going to tell him, but I know the reason he's doing it. And part of it is for you folk that want the bets and whatever else, and part of it is for himself, because I know what he's getting out of it. Again, he might not agree with what I say he's getting out of it, but I know what he's getting out of it. It's not monetary, no, it's not. But that's not what he's looking for. I think he probably knows what he's getting out of it, but if he doesn't, I do. But I'm not going to embarrass him, and I don't want to embarrass him. So anyway, let me give you the emails and let me tell you what's what. But before I did that, I wanted to show you that first of what I've won. I think he's good at what he does. I think he's very, very, very good at what he does. He mentions about the emails. That's what I was going to say to you. He'll send an email with the choices. Then the next day, I could get 7, 8, 9 emails, and they can be like that long. Oh my God, the ground's not what it should have been. They said it would be this. That all my horses are going out in price. All going out. I wish I hadn't given them now. I shouldn't have given them. I shouldn't have given them now. Then the next email. Oh, this is crap. This was 8-1 when I gave it to you. Now it's 22-1. The ground has changed. I've got no chance. I'm all going to lose big, and people are going to think I don't know what I'm doing, but I know what I'm doing. Blah 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 blah. Then the little winner. Boom. And it might be 22-25-1. And then all of a sudden, something else will come in. Something else. And probably 7 times out of 10, when he's thought he was going to be down for massive losses, he's still pulled out and he's won. He'll have won more than you will have won, folks, because he's also done doubles, trebles, and he's done forecasts and all these things. But as I say, staking loads and loads of different bets. We're not doing that. But ultimately, he's winning. But I mean, I can't keep up with emails, and sometimes I don't even read them all because I've just not got the time. And he's saying he's not got the time to send all these emails. Most of them he doesn't need to send. I don't know why he constantly sends them to me, because some of them I just don't get a chance to read. But that's him. He's like me. I'm anal with this channel. I try to cover everything. I try to do everything I'm going to do in that day, however I fit it in. He's the same with what he does, with picking his tips and whatever else, but also messaging us. But he could cut down a lot of what he does. A lot of what he doesn't need to do, but that's up to him. I mean, he doesn't need to send any tips anymore, and from where he's going, he might not be sending tips. Let me read them emails with 40 minutes in. I've not done this to keep you folks. I just want you to know what's going on. I want you to know everything about everything. Right. I got this message. When did it come? Yesterday. 4:01 in the morning it came. I read it probably about 2 or 3 o'clock this afternoon. I don't know how you're working the bets out. The bets were 40 points up. This will have been based on Fridays. This will be Fridays. The bets were 40 points up. 1 point each way and 2 point wins. All of those. I'm going to read it as he types it. I don't understand all this. You pick it out, folks. I'm not going to try and think it. I don't know How you're working the bets out. The bets were 40 points up, 1 point each way and 2 points wins. All of those lost. I think I also had another 14 to 1 winner that dead-heated. You missed off. It was impossible to lose on the bets and far bigger prices available at nearly all the picks. Probably 50 points up if you were betting on Friday morning. None of the prices collapsed. They all drifted all morning. You did this the other day as well. I was 48 points up the one day. I did every bet 1 point each way or 2 point win on fabs. If you did every horse, you were at least 40 points up today. No prices given or SPs. The TriCast or forecast was just an added bonus. You make of this, folks, what you will, whether you understand it or not, because I'm getting it to me and I don't always understand it all. Right, the next one came 20 minutes later. 1:28 in the morning. You see, he works even later than me. I also advised trebles on shorter ones the day I was 48 points up, and I had 5 winners out of 7 with a place. They won fortunes, not a mention. I've had massive winning days, and you keep saying I doubt you would have won the picks, and then go on about the TriCast. This was an added bonus. It's completely wrong today, 40 points, and another day 48 points, plus advised trebles. What's the point of me sending them you if you keep saying that you wouldn't be up? It's simply not true. And to be honest, you'd be unlucky not to be far more up, as all the prices drifted on Friday. Everything was bigger, and the SPs on the exchanges, you would have won more as well. If anyone's losing on these picks, they'd all have to be dummies. And then me, I sent this at 4 o'clock yesterday. I had been doing all at 1 point each way and a 1 point win. The 2 point win would have made things a whole lot different, I would guess. So at what prices do you advise a win bet, and from what prices each way, and at what prices are you advising trebles? So what I'm asking him for his win bets, I'm assuming, and I'm doing even his win bets each way, if they're anything around about 3 to 1. I'm doing less than 3 to 1. In fact, no, I'm doing some at 9 to 4 and 2 to 1 as each ways, because I'm thinking he's putting them with bigger price ones just to keep the win side going. So I don't know. The only ones I do as each way are ones that are like 6 to 4 even money and odds on. He's been giving some 1 to 2s, 1 to 3s. Well, I'm not doing them each way, so I don't know what he's doing. And when he says he does loads of trebles, I don't know what he's doing doubles and trebles on. I just don't know. So I've said, which ones are you putting the wins on? Which ones are you putting the each ways on? And which ones are you doing the trebles on? Because he's saying he can't lose. Well, what I'm going to do, I'm thinking, well, if he tells me every horse under this is in a treble, if I have 10 horses under that, then I do put the 10 horses into odds check and see how many trebles for 10 horses. And then I'll do if he's doing the wins to 2 points, I'll probably do the trebles to 2 points. I would bet if I do every horse to 1 point each way over a certain price, every other horse at 2 point win, and every treble at 2 point trebles, and he's no doubt doing doubles as well, I think I would still be able to show most days he's losing. I think I'll be able to show that, but I may be wrong. Apart from if you do hit them massive doubles and trebles. But I'm thinking to myself, which people that follow this channel would do everything as an each way, all the ones under a certain price to win, and then all the doubles and trebles within them, because even to pennies it might be the earth. But I don't know. So that's what I asked him. I'll read that again to you folks. I have been doing all that 1 point each way and 1 point on the win. The 2 points would have made things a whole lot different, I would guess. So at what prices do you advise a win bet? And from what prices do you do each way? And what prices are you advising as trebles? I sent that at 4 o'clock. He sent this at 5:40. Doing it your way, I'd be winning even more. I do everything from 5 to 2 upwards each way. Everything else is a 2 point win. So yesterday's 40 points up, your way, it would have been more, as all the real sharp prices got beat, every single one. So I was 10 or 12 points down straight away. Yet when I went to the video, no mention of any profit, which was better than anyone else, 40 points. I made it give or take 1 point. And you even said that wouldn't have shown a profit. It was the complete opposite. The bets were even better because the next day everything was bigger. And on the exchanges, the SPs were bigger as well. Now, before I read the next bit, let me again say this. What I do when he gives me prices, if he gives me a price at 20 to 1, and it collapses to 8, I settle at 20, everyone else is doing it. If he gives me a price at 8 to 1 and it goes up to 20, so I do it at 20s, because everyone else is doing it. What I don't do, I don't go looking at the exchanges, and all that can be really volatile. A 14 to 1 on the 365 could be 22s with the exchanges, because I don't go exchanges. I've not got the time to look at the price he gives me the SP price and the exchanges. I don't have the time. You know, sometimes I let people down when I say they've only had a double up and they've had the double twice because there's been a non-runner. I try to look for every non-runner. Sometimes I miss the odd non-runner. I do it because I'm stuck for time, whereas he's got loads on and works all the hours God sends. I do the same, folks. The other day I'm thinking Connor's had a treble, 2 22-1s and a 25. I think you might have seen the video, folks. I'm thinking he's had Battle Over Doyen at 20-1, and he's had Battle Over something else, horse number 17. I remember it's 17 and 18. Didn't know there were 2 battles in the same race. It's dead unusual. Battle Over Doyen wins 20-1. I think Connor's had that. I don't look for the other battle because I've only wrote down battle and I thought it was Battle Over Doyen. So that's how hard it can get when you're putting lots of hours in. I am, he is. So I don't look at the exchanges. What I do, I settle his bets at the price he gives, and if the SP's bigger, I give him the bigger. I don't go looking at exchanges. I never ever will. Right, wait a minute. It was a complete opposite. So the better bets, the next day everything was bigger. On the exchanges, the SPs were bigger as well. That's what I was up to. And then you said something about the TriCast, which was just a bonus on top of the profit. And yesterday, I sent you these 3 or 4 times, which I don't think you've put up either. Another 11-1 winner and 2 places plus a forecast. I'm just wasting all my time and effort, and you've not. By the way, I put everything up he gave, so I don't know where he's got that from. Another 11-1 winner and 2 places plus a forecast. I'm just wasting all my time and effort, and you're not even pointing up the profits or doing it deliberately. He thinks I'm deliberately saying he's not winning. Well, I would never do that to him or anybody else, because there's no way you've worked out these bets yesterday. I'm on my way to another massive winning day. So far, I've had a 6-1, an 8-1, 11-1, and a 14-1. I've also had 2 forecasts and 4 places. I just couldn't be arsed sending them after seeing that video last night. Completely pointless. So yesterday he said he's had all them winners and he's not sent them over, which is fine. That's his what's it called to do that? No problem whatsoever. He's had forecasts as well. No problem whatsoever. He just couldn't be arsed sending them to me after seeing my video the night before. It's completely pointless. So that was his video. So my reply to that when I seen that, which was 11:30 last night. So he sent his video there where he said he couldn't be asked at 20-6. I'm busy as well, folks, don't forget. I'm recording till, what was it, did I say, 8:15. Then I went out to pick up my takeaway. They couldn't deliver on it at 10-9. Then I picked the wife up about 11 o'clock. She'd been in Liverpool for the day. She goes straight to bed. She had a skinful. I see his video at 25 past 11. I reply at 11:30. And my reply is, well, I can't be asked taking them off you with an attitude like that. Straight to the point, which is how I do it. So if he can't be asked sending them, I can't be asked taking them. But I'm not going to do him a chapter and verse on it because he's not deserving of it. With an attitude like that, when he's doing it to help you folk, but I'm doing it to help him and you folk, if he's talking to me like that, treating me like that, I can't be asked either. Sunday, 00:36, so we sent this morning at 12:30. Why would I send them? You never give the facts about the results, so it's completely pointless. All it does is it takes hours out of my day chasing up prices and sending you emails all day, and then you put up a video misrepresenting the results. And the weird thing is, I had a feeling you were going to do it as well, as it happened previously. Either you're on the wind-up, me on the wind-up, or you simply weren't checking on the results or working them out. So, yep, it's pointless. I then put, folks, at 2:45 today, because I've been in that there Elmskirk today working. I've just this minute read this. It's utter drivel, Zorro. I feel you want to think about what you're writing, but I will answer it more fully later. He won't let me answer it like this, but I'm giving my point of view, because I've not got time to type it. It'll take me even longer. Then in capitals I've done, I like you, am mega busy, and I, like you, are trying to offer a service to others. That means he's giving the tips for me to give them to you. So I'm a part of it, folks. I'm happy to still keep doing that. Whether he wants to send them or not, is up to him. But if he talks to me like I'm something on the bottom of his shoe, I can give it back in spades. Do not worry about that. We are doing it to help others, which is why I don't view it as pointless. He said it's pointless, and I'm saying we're doing it to help others, which is why I don't view it as pointless. But if you do, well, that's fine by me. And that's where we lie at the moment, folks. He'll either carry on sending them, or he won't. If you carry on sending them, Zorro, send them me once. As the prices keep changing, Don't keep sending to me, or when you get the best prices, send them me once with the best prices. And then the following day, this is how I'm going to settle them. I'm going to settle them on your price. If it drifts, I'm going to settle them on SP. I'm never going to look on the Betfair Exchange. I'm always going to have a matrix where you've said earlier, I forgot it already, but I'm going to look. I think you said anything under 5-2, you bet as a win. Anything over 5-2, you bet each way. Anything over 5-2, I'm going to do 1 point each way. Anything from 5-2 and below, I'm going to do 2 point win. If you've got 10 horses under 5-2, I'm going to do a 2 point win trebles. Unless you tell me to do them as 1 point win trebles, I'm going to see how many trebles are there. I'm not going to put through every single horse and do the fractions and see what you're in front. But based on that, I will be able to see with quick, simple maths off the top of my head whether you've won or lost. I'm not going to put forecasts in because I don't think everyone's going to do forecasts. If anyone wants to do that as an extra, they can. If I was folks doing your bets, I would do what I've told folks to do, because I've done it. I've done 5 bets of yours and I've won 4 days out of 5. That to me shows me you know what you're doing, you're great at what you're doing, and as a gambler who wants to win, that shows me I can win following your tips, doing it the way I want to do it. I did ask you a few weeks ago to show me your betting strategy for 4 Saturdays on the bounce, and I would do that, and I'd have done it with a couple of £100 to start with. If I won, I'd have done it with more the next week. If I'd have gone down, I might have done it £100 a week for 3 weeks, and I wanted to see if I was going to be in front. So if you were putting on, say, £1,000 in a day, which you say you do or more, I'd have done a fifth or a tenth of that, and I would have seen where I got as opposed to what you're saying you're winning. Because he's telling me he's winning fortunes, folks, many, many days. And he could be making up, he could be a liar. I don't think he is. I think he's telling the truth. I think he's a decent fella. By the way, when you've seen this, Zoro, you might not like it because I've shared emails. You asked me not to do that, but it's important in this instance. They need to know if the tip stop, why they're stopping. But you asked me not to release who you are. I've not done, and I never will do. You've asked me to keep it all hush-hush, and there's certain messages you've sent me you've asked me not to share, and I wouldn't do. You know, I'm a man of my word, and I wouldn't do. You've said in the past, if I get down to your neck of the woods, you'll buy me a pint, and I said I'd love it, and I'd buy you one back, and I'd still do that if I'm your neck of the woods. If you come to that there, Warrington, I'd gladly buy you a pint, no problem at all. No hard feelings towards you, I've not fell out with you. But you send me any shite on my emails that I don't like, and I'll give it you back. Because you're wrong with what you're saying. I don't swear any by that, that's unusual for me. You're wrong. I'm not purposely misrepresenting you. If these days you've won and I've not noticed, then I'm really, really sorry. But like you, I'm under pressure. Unlike you, you're doing horses and tipping horses and you're winning a fortune. I'm like the swan there where the legs are going 10 to a dozen. On top I'm not. I say I've got a wife, I've got kids, I've got grandkids, I've got a family, I've got a job. And I'm doing okay, but I'm not doing brilliantly. But I'm trying to do this along with my job. I don't want to give this up because I like it. And I feel I'm good at it and I enjoy it and I like what I get out of it. I like the community I've got, I like the people I'm dealing with. And I'm going to carry on. And I'm spending a lot of hours on it. If I'm giving your tips out at 11, half 11, 12, half 12, 1, quarter past 1 in the darkness in the conservatory, it's because I care for the folk on it. It's because I care that you spent the time to send me the email, so I'm sending it on to folk, hopefully before 9 a.m. in the morning, before prices collapse. So I'm doing my part. If I've missed off with any profits, then I apologise. But I didn't know how you're staking them. Now I know because I've asked you. But I'm not going to sugarcoat things if things are coming in. If these days that you've lost, I'm going to say you've lost. And let me say this, folks, and I'll say this to you yourself, Zoro. I even get messages when he's unhappy with this person or that person saying things about him. I don't know why he's bothered. He should be thick-skinned like me. It shouldn't matter to him, but it does to him. Because he thinks he's good, and I think because he thinks he knows he's good, and I think he's good. I think he's good at what he does. I think he knows what he's doing. It's not for everyone else, and I get that. But I believe everybody that follows this channel that comes on here could do what I've been doing with these tips, and more often than not, win rather than lose. I've just won 4 days out of 5 there. There's not many tipsters we've got on here that all win 4 days out of every 5. Yeah, maybe I'm not winning loads, but I'm not getting the right prices, and I'm not getting the 5 up or 4 up in each bet. I'm getting 3s or 4s. But in every single bet that I won, if I'm doing 4, 3 are placing. If I'm doing 5, 4 are placing. And sometimes at good prices. Some of the prices he's giving, I might get an 8 to 1 where he's giving it at 16s. I'm not on early enough. I'm doing it as an exercise to see if I can win betting his stuff. And I've proved to me I can. 4 out of 5 isn't a fluke, I don't believe. And if I had 5 more days of these tips, I think I'd do it again. And when he says he's even better on the all-weather and it's coming around in October and there's only 3 meetings, I'm thinking, or I was thinking, I hope he's here come the all-weather, because me and many of the followers on this channel could really clean up on the all-weather. But he might decide that's it now, especially after this video. But if he has, that's fine. He says he can't be asked. I can't be arsed with somebody who talks to me like you did, Zorro. I don't deserve it, and if I've given you what's it's wrong, then I apologise. But I'm not sure I've given them all wrong. But that said, I didn't know you were staking. I do now, so that'll never happen again. If you send such stuff. If you don't want to, not a problem. The ball is in your court. Right, folks, I've explained it fully. I'm going down. I said to wife, I'll be down in 15 minutes. That was a while ago. This took a lot longer than it should have done yet again. How long are we in? 30 minutes in. I said it was 10 minutes. It never is with me. I've not done it to keep you on, folks. I've not done it for the revenue. Even if 400 watch this, I'll probably get 3 quid, 4 quid. It ain't worth 3 or 4 quid, to be honest with you. I'm doing it because I want you to know about Zorro, what's happening with Zorro, where we're at with Zorro, and how I feel about him. Even if he sends no more tips, not going to bother me. I'd rather him be sending them and giving them to you, folks, especially if you can win money. He creates a lot of stuff in the comment section and it's good. He gives me a few more views, but not some earning money off him. Not good money. Since he's been here, I would imagine on the back of him I might have earned 15 quid for 2 videos a day about him, some half an hour long and more. I'm not doing it for the money. I'm doing it because he's spending the time to send us them off the goodness of his own heart, which he doesn't need to do. I think I deserve to send them to you. Many of you don't appreciate him, some of you do, and I know some of you really like him and believe like me that he's very, very good. And I think he's another string to our ever-expanding bow, and I'd much rather deal with him than 3 or 4 more out there who've done a runner. But if he wants to do that same runner, that's fine. No problem at all. The ball's in his court. And you can message me back, Zorro, in emails, and I'll be very civil with you, and I'll be great. And whether you're sending tips or not, I'll be civil, I'll be great. If I'm in your neck of the woods and you see me and you want to buy me a pint, that'll be great. If you're in my neck of the woods, I'll gladly buy you a pint, that'll be great, no problem at all. Not falling out with you at all, but I'm not being talked down to regarding my channel. Because I, like you, are doing the best that I can. Okay? Might not always be spot on, same way you're not always spot on. We all, what was that? Was that a butterfly? We all make mistakes, we all get things wrong. Okay? I'll leave it at that.